Hey, what's up? It's another episode of Watch U Strappin. These are not watch reviews. This is a quick wristwatch check with an aftermarket strap choice. However, these may be also considered like extended reviews or basically, supplemental or ongoing user experience. As I usually throw in some extra bit of information while I do these. And today, this is the Citizen Tsuno Chrono chronograph. It's a quartz chronograph from Citizen. It's like a modern reissue of a vintage model that they used to have in the the challenge timers back in the late 60s or 70s, I believe. This one looks very similar to the one that used to be, and I'll have the description of which one this specific model reference number of this one, as well as the one that it is a modern reissue of, in the description, because I can't remember those numbers off the top of my head. For some reason I just can't. But anyways, it's a great chronograph, bullhead style. I think it's also unique within this bullhead style, because usually I think the greater majority of them have a more rounded case, and this has this octagonal case, which I think is pretty cool. It adds an extra bit of uniqueness to it, other than just having a bullhead chronograph by itself is usually kind of unusual too. It's not very typical, but I like it. It's nice, clean. I think the dial and the details are done pretty nice and cleanly. Everything aligns pretty perfectly, and the price for these are not that bad. Around, I think they might be $4 something, or maybe in the $3s, but Citizen always has like sales too, and if not, some other sellers that might have put out sales, so you can often find these a little bit less than full retail price, which is not bad for around roughly $300, I would say, more or less. It's a great size for something like this. It can be often a little bit a little bit small wearing, because it is, I believe, only a 38 millimeter size, but just the way it's done is very short lug to lug, and the dial, especially if you get the ones with the outer ring, the tachymeter that's in a different color, then the dial itself could also look a bit small, and that also makes it look visually smaller. But there we go. This is on a strap that I bought a while ago from CNS Watch Bands. It used to be cheapest NATO straps, but they changed the name to just CNS Watch Bands, but essentially the same products and stuff, and it's okay. I forget what I bought this for, that uses 18 millimeter straps. But I had this laying around, and I figured this could look pretty good on this watch, and I think it looks appropriate. But I have to say, even though you save some money, it does feel and show in a number of spots for at least leather straps from CNS Watch Bands. I think they do better with just their NATO style straps, nylon pass through, those type of things. Just the basic stuff, I think it's fine. But when my experience with at least the variety of leather straps has been, it's not the best. It just doesn't feel quality, to be honest. It's like a cheap leather jacket. If you ever had one, you'll feel that like the leather itself, and it may seem a little bit plush too, but when you actually feel the leather itself, it feels like just a thin layer of the that leather that you feel on the outside, and then underneath it's just kind of, I don't know, doesn't feel as solid. Feels like it could easily start to crack and peel. If you know the cheap kind of leather material I'm talking about, at least on the outside and maybe on the inside, I think of the strap too, it's not much better. So I didn't pay much. I wasn't expecting much. I gave it a try. I think for now it does the job, and it gives me a good look, but it's not something that's going to last. And I would definitely upgrade the strap to something a little bit more substantial that feels quality. This isn't a particularly expensive watch anyway, so there's a limit to how much I may want to spend, but I'm pretty sure this is definitely under $20 or so from CNS Watch Bands. And yeah, you could definitely spend at least around $30 and up. I would say would be fair. Don't need to go too crazy for these rally style straps in leather, and I think that'll be fine. But I just wanted to show it off, just to show the this color combination, the style, and yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend getting any leather straps from CNS Watch Bands, unfortunately. Sorry. They just don't seem quite up to par, rather subpar. But for a quick fix, and you just want to try something before you maybe commit to a more premium quality strap, I would definitely say, yeah, why not? You're not too sure about something. This will hold up okay for a little bit, but I don't expect this to be long term. A quality strap, to be honest. But overall, I think this looks pretty good with this watch. I think it matches the style and the period. And I do have to say, I have to wear, if it looks tight, I do have to wear this watch band, preferably, actually most bands on this watch a little bit tighter than I normally would. It's just the dimension of this case and the short lug to lug, and I guess how low additionally how low the straps attached to the case. If I do just a little bit looser, which would be in a little bit more comfortable zone, it's got a little bit more room to breathe, it's not as tight fitting. I do find something about this tends to want to let the watch head tends to want to roll off to the far side or the underside, but usually whenever that happens on my wrist, it tends to go out to the outer side, and that's a peeve of mine, and I don't like it when it does that. Yeah, it's a quick adjust, just move it back into a more centered position on the wrist, but it's something that I feel, and I'm mindful of, and it's not something that I like to have on a particular strap and watch head. So when that happens, and it doesn't happen too often, but when it does, I do tend to wear the straps a bit more snug so that doesn't happen. And so yeah, that's the only thing. I mean, it's my wrist still breathes, but I do have to say that I did wish that it didn't have to make it that tight. I just think it's something about this particular watch case and the way it fits it, for me at least, maybe my particular wrist size and shape. I do have a 7-inch wrist. My left wrist at least tends to be a bit more shallow or slimmer than my right, because I'm right-handed. So especially the area behind this part of the wrist bone, tends to be where the strap is covering over right now. It tends to be the most shallow part of my wrist, and I think that's probably, maybe for me, one of the problems. Even a watch this size and everything is not particularly thick or tall or anything. It can still roll over on me, which not the best thing, but I make do for now. Just having fun, enjoying this. Anyways, that's about it. Just want to get that out there. And my sleeves are rolling back up, covering part of the watch. There we go. Anyways, thanks for watching, and enjoy your watches.